And what are we doing tonight, Z? The same thing we do every single live podcast. That is try to take over the world. That's right, I'm the man you may know as Z from Our Reviews Will Kill You, the Party Time podcast that brings you news, reviews, and all that other good jazz. We've got a heck of a show for you tonight. Heck of a show. I am here alone, doing it proud, doing it loud, going all out. I gotta make sure I can see the chat. What's up, Rainbow Man? What's up, Ron Cold, the Stone Cold Killer? I see Mr. Noob. Good to see you. We're happy to have you. Hashtag orc, which means literally nothing, I don't think. Hashtag ORK. I don't know why I'm like skipping around, but at least you can hear my audio pretty clear, I'm pretty sure. For whatever reason, our interface likes to give me a hard time visually. I don't know if I can like refresh the screen or some jazz or make a virtual avatar of myself. Either way, we got a heck of a show for y'all. As I try to get everything up and running, make sure that all the buttons and whistles and clicks and things and stuff and things are going the way they need to go. For those of you who aren't aware, Noob is wrestling in... He's doing some jiu-jitsu in the Dominican Republic. Very, very sexually. Very, very... He's trying to find some young, ripe Haitian men to help him with his future. So that means I'm doing it. I'm doing it by myself. I don't see any... we were talking about having Bandana Dan do some partying with me, but... Or Nasty Mandy, but Nasty Mandy actually got shown live, and I don't think if he knows it or appreciates it. I've always thought about doing game streams. I'm a big Ark player right now. I've taken my Expedition twice. I'm working on my third one. So... Rachel Beausarge, hi, nice to meet you. How about we all toast tonight? It's a Friday night. Let's have some fun. Let's kick back a little bit. I got some Jägermeister, for those of you who are unaware. That does not go down smooth, I'm telling you. Oh my God. That's brutal. Woo! All right. And then I got a big old, this thing full of whiskey and stuff for us to kick back and drink too. Now, if you're old enough to drink, come drink. If you're not, go get yourself some hot cocoa, because I heard it's snowing in places it's not supposed to snow. I can call you Paisley. I will call you Paisley then. I hope it means something special to you. So, we've got our drinks in place. And we've got a heck of a show planned. Cheers to everybody out there. What are we doing today? That's a really good question. Right? Really good question. Let me tell you what's on today's show. We're going to talk a little bit about a movie you didn't see because I didn't see it because nobody saw it. That means it was bad. The Bride, that bombed hard. Brooks Nader joins Baywatch with a bunch of other attractive people, so maybe that'll be an attractive show for us. Kathleen Kennedy, the demon who runs Star Wars, has finally been slain. How about them apples? Jaden Smith has new shoes. When you see this kid, somebody send help for this kid. Just do it. Quentin Tarantino, who's clearly a bigot and a racist, according to his former co-stars, is got a new project, and we'll see if that's his last movie. It sounds real silly, but we'll take a look at it. Some good news for theaters. Universal extends the theatrical window. We'll get into that. Family Guy. I feel like it has had... I didn't think it had any spinoffs, but I was wrong about that. It's had several spinoffs. Family Guy gets a new spinoff. Are you going to watch it? You tell me, because I don't know if I'm going to. Another Game of Thrones prequel. How exciting for all of us. After they filmed an entire prequel and canned it. We've also got Jumanji 4, which I misspelled because I don't know anything about Jumanji. Finished filming. You got to be excited for the 4th Jumanji movie. They're going to call it Shumanji. Fast and Fumanji. How about that one? And then K-pop, the easiest decision anyone ever made in their entire lives, K-pop Demon Hunter gets a sequel. Outrageousness. The Chinese are at it again, trying to smuggle 200 Queen Ants somewhere. I didn't see any trailers this week, so I didn't get in or out of anything. And to review, just for all of y'all out there, we're going to do War Machine starring Alan Ritchson, and we're going to do... what's the other thing that was going to be out there? We're going to do something. What did I just change? Oh, Night Agent Season 3, which I don't feel like a ton of people watched, but it's cool because I did, and I liked it. I liked it a lot. And yes, Ready or Not is going to bomb also? That's your prediction? Oh, that's tricky. I don't disagree with you, but that's a tricky one. I forget who the girl is that is that something Weaving? Samantha Weaving or Wearing? I feel like that girl was supposed to be a bigger star than she is, but she looks too much like Margot Robbie. And she screams like a goat. And sounding like a goat, not that attractive these days. So Ready or Not bombing seems like it's a thing that's going to happen. Let's check this out then. Let's get into the news. I got a new way to look at the news. Let's see if it looks cool. Thanks to Bandana Dan. Yes. Yes. We're going to talk about why moviegoers left the bride at the altar. I think the easy answer is, who asked for this? I did not ask for this. Let's listen to some chill Feeding the Ducks. I feel like we've earned this. That my other music there was a little intense. Let's talk about The Bride. It's a movie you probably didn't even hear about. I mean, I barely heard about it. The only reason I knew anything about it was because Maggie Gyllenhaal directed it, who's that weird chick who fancies herself a director, I guess. And I've heard many people say that this is the worst movie they've ever seen. So that's not so good for her. I've heard them say they claim it cost $80 million, but that doesn't even include the marketing. I've heard that all told, it's probably just south of 150. It opened to $13.6 million. Why would this movie cost $90 million to make is beyond me. What was the movie about? Good question. Feminism was what I heard. I don't know for sure, but I heard that's what it's about. Rainbow Man's like, I don't know what that is, but I didn't want to see it, so that means it sucks. And I agree. If it's not for you or me, it's not for anybody. It's pretty funny though. They didn't decline. They wouldn't make any comments. Warner Brothers wouldn't talk about it. But David Zaslav just cashed in $114 million worth of his stocks. That's pretty awesome. Good for him making all that money and not giving any of it to me. He probably should have. Yeah, I just want to point this out because I don't want to spend a ton of time on Maggie Gyllenhaal. She's most famous for being in The Dark Knight, and she was also she is sister to Jake Gyllenhaal. Who's the superior Gyllenhaal? You tell me. This movie, this is her first big budget movie after she got 3-time Oscar nominated for a previous movie of hers called Lost Daughter. That cost $5 million. Maybe you should have made a movie about the Bride of Frankenstein for $5 million. People would have been like, wow, what a great movie. You did a good job. No, Ari Shaffir is he is in his native homeland of Haiti. He can speak for himself and tell you what he's doing. We were just talking about you, Bandana Dan. So I speak of myself in the third person these days. Did they portray feminism in a good way? I don't know. I didn't see the movie. I'm going to assume that any feminism at this point is all men are bad. That's my assumption. It's weird because I don't believe in manisms where I wouldn't say anything like all women's are bad. Maybe strong whammons are bad, but not all whammons. I like some whammons. Don't you? And then what was the... I don't know. So anyway, this was foolishness. We will move to something much more attractive than a Gyllenhaal. How about Brooks Nader? I don't know who Brooks Nader is, and I know she doesn't know how to spell her name properly. Because last time I checked, your name is supposed to be Brooke Nader, but if you call yourself Brooks, can you use they, them pronouns? Well, she's going to join the regular cast of Baywatch. Baywatch is assembling quite a team of lifeguards here. I would say what they should have done first is come to a town. There's a town in New Jersey. I forget what it's called. Something be by the sea. Baywatch by the sea. I don't know, but they have really hot lifeguards there. What is Baywatch? Baywatch is about lifeguards, and that's where people like Carmen Electra and David Hasselhoff and who else was in that show? Oh, Pam Anderson, obviously. Those people were Avon by the Sea. Yes, they have very attractive lifeguards there. I watched two heavyset girls deliberately get themselves washed out to sea so they could get picked up by lifeguards. And I was like, those are the hottest real-life lifeguards I've ever seen. Oh, then you know it's because they charge people to go on the beach. They can pay real lifeguards. New Jersey has some fabulous beaches, I'm telling you. Fabulous beaches. No, I didn't see Brooks Nader there. You know, I didn't see her there. But you're allowed to be from New Jersey. What's a I know. How do you not know what's Baywatch, right? I hate to say it. Like, that's pretty tough. So they're going to get this chick. I have no idea who she is or why she's famous or why her name is Brooks. But Stephen Amell is going to be in it. He's got quite a physique and he's quite an attractive looking man, right? So you've got a hot guy, some hot chicks. Nadine will play Celine, the sharp-tongued captain of Zuma Beach Lifeguards. Well, she's excellent at her job. She and Baywatch captain Hobie Buchanan have a very different approach to saving lives. How is there a different approach to saving lives? One is I'm gonna teach them a lesson, and the other one is I'm gonna give everybody mouth to mouth all day, every day, mouth to mouth, nonstop. If you stubbed your toe, you got a jellyfish sting, mouth to mouth. Well, anyway, they got a 12-episode order, and I think one of the reasons they hired her is because she has a big social media following. They also added some other attractive people to this. I just wanted to show this too, because who doesn't like looking at attractive people? Livy Dunn, another person who doesn't know how to spell their name. I hope it's I hope it's a full-on retarded. The original was retarded, and I hope this goes full retard. I'm okay with that. It's it's all our Baywatch is all our. Oh, that's right, Livy. I was Rainbow Man. You preempted me, right? Livy Dunn, who also doesn't know how to spell her name. Why would you have two V's in your name? She's that hot gymnast chick. Good luck with that. You don't think this girl, Livy Dunn and Brooks Nader, are almost as hot as Pam Anderson back in the day? Almost. It depends on the bathing suits. If they have high quality bathing suits, come on, Stephen Amell and Brooks Nader, that's not, you know, they're not they're like the liverwurst compared to prime rib, okay? They're not terrible. They're not the same quality. She's the hot yoga teacher. No, she's not your hot yoga teacher. She's a gymnast. She's like a world famous gymnast. They'll probably be in raincoats. Imagine that's their difference is one of them as a Baywatch, as they're trying to rescue people. One's like, oh, we must wear raincoats, and the other one wears hot, for one piece bathing suits. They were pretty hot. Sydney Sweeney, right? She's gonna guest star in this. I'm gonna put money on it. They're gonna try to get her in here. She's a movie star, you have to remember. They had to hire non-movie stars. Remember, Pam Anderson never made it to movie star. Like, they did ruin Lola Bunny. I agree. So, I hope there's some more hot people here. She's a former Louisiana State University gymnast. I don't know that she knows how to act, but I'm sure she can wear a bathing suit, and I'm sure she's got a very fit form. And she's a heck of a swimmer in that Louisiana. You can't simp over Lola Bunny, but they did ruin her. They made her like a dude. I think that's that. We're trying to make a distinction. We're being subtle in our distinction here, right? So high hopes for Baywatch. I don't think it's going to be great or anything. I just think it could be. Please, Lord, baby Jesus, give us something attractive to see on TV. When was the last time we saw anybody that you were like, wow, that's an attractive looking cast? Women should have the right to look frumpy. She was not in plenty of movies. First of all, Barbed Wire barely counts as a movie. Name one other movie she was in besides Barbed Wire. Right? Cthulhu, we miss you. Cthulhu, Lord Cthulhu, please enlighten us. We need your wisdom. Please enlighten. Do you, as Lord of the Sea and the sky and all things living, do you believe that Baywatch will be a hit? Please, Lord Cthulhu, let us know. We're waiting. She was in Borat. Borat was a fake movie. That wasn't a real movie. I wish we could all we were in a classroom. Raise your hand if you saw, where's my hand? Raise your hand if you saw Barbed Wire more than once, and I'm putting my hand down. There's no way. There were way better movies than that. Baywatch is gonna be all right, we'll see. We'll move on to better news. It's not even a movie. It's not a movie. It's a TV show. 12 episodes of episodic saving people's lives. It's gonna be a thing. I'm telling you. Like I said, at least it'll have an attractive cast. Whether they can act is a different story. Come on, the Green Arrow, he's the man. I like that guy. She was in that is a real movie, but I don't know if it was a real movie. Was it actually out in theaters? She was okay in that as an old lady. Like, come on. Oh, they had one. That movie's worth watching for one sequence. There's a sequence where Liam Neeson and Pam Anderson go to a cabin up in like the skiing, like the mountains or whatever with the snow and things. And will you stop telling me what movies she was in that weren't real movies? First of all, no one in this chat has ever seen The Last Showgirl. That's not possible. And secondly, I was in the middle of a story where they have a threesome with a snowman, and it is worth the price of admission. You should catch that. The newer Baywatch movie, she was in that too. That newer Baywatch movie had Daddario, whatever her name is, Dawson, Simpson, Daddario, whatever her name is, who she was hot, and recently got divorced, so she's open fair. And it had the kid who got his jaw wired shut. But they were all like 5 years too late for being hot. Rosario Dawson. No, not her. It's the girl from True Detective. Whatever her name is. You can keep going with Pam. Okay, change your name from the Lord Cthulhu to Pam Maniac, all right? You're going to be the Pam Anderson Maniac? Jeez. She's a TV star. She's not a movie star. No, it's not Kanye. It's the kid who did High School Musical. Noob usually knows these things. I'm terrible when it comes to remembering inconsequential people. He was in that movie. He played basketball or something in High School Musical like 500 years ago. And I never saw that either, but I know he was kind of famous at some point. And then he tried killing himself or deleting himself by traveling around the world. Nobody likes that guy anymore because he did some terrible things. Remember, he released Vanessa Hudgens' illicit pictures that he shouldn't have done. Shouldn't have done that, son. You shouldn't have done that. She's you can't get Pam Anderson out of your DMs. She was also in Raw Justice. What do you Oh, you saw it. Hey, if you don't love Kanye, you don't love Laughing Gas. And if you don't love Laughing Gas, you don't love yourself. And if you don't love yourself, then you clearly have never seen Little Shop of Horrors, and you've never seen that scene where they take Laughing Gas. It's kind of funny. So it's all back to Laughing Gas. You know what I mean? You could do me a solid by telling me who that kid is that's not Kanye West that got his mouth wired shut. That would be helpful because I can't remember. Zach F. Doc, my man, you got it. I don't know why I'm like still so jumpy. I don't know what's going on here, but yes, Zach Efron. Thank you, Doc. Doc, one of our powerful admins out there, just waiting for me to make stupid comments and correct me. So I don't know why I didn't do a story on this because I've been thinking about it for years, but maybe it's because I'm so disappointed as to the outcome. For those of you who aren't aware, Kathleen Kennedy has been ruining Star Wars for a solid 10 to 15 years now, and she finally stepped down because she's old. And Dave Filoni took over, and there's some other chick, Lewin Brennan. I don't understand what the deal with co-CEOs is all over the place. All I ever hear in corporate America is like, we need co-CEOs. We need like a creative CEO. DC has the same thing with James Gunn and the other guy who never says anything. Yes, Star Wars is done. I am also glad she left, but we still have to put up with the Baby Yoda movie. 14 years of guiding Star Wars into the modern era through all its ups and downs. Name me one up, and I swear to God, if you say Baby Yoda. She also spent decades producing Indiana Jones, the last one. See, she was basically somebody's assistant, and she got promoted through she was very skilled orator, if you know what I mean. She could use her mouth really well, and that got her several promotions up the ladder. And then she took over and has completely ruined anything Star Wars related. $4 billion flushed down the toilet. Now the first movie in, 7 years, 5 years, a lot of years, The Mandalorian and Grogu is coming out May 22nd. And then they're also going to put out Star Wars Starfighter, which also no one asked for. I am just not, this is terrible. So they Filoni and Brennan, the executive. So Dave Filoni is the annoying guy who wears a cowboy hat who created Ahsoka. That's his claim to fame. And they all report to Alan Bergman, co-chairman of Disney Entertainment. They're like so far down the ladder, I don't even understand. It closes out an era of Star Wars. Hopefully it ends a terrible era, but I still think we're going to get terrible Filoni. Like how much money can you just throw away before somebody finally fires you? Filoni can't last more than like 3 years, right? She's a veteran producer boasting 8 Best Picture nominations. The Sixth Sense and Lincoln. And then she courted J.J. Abrams to direct The Force Awakens, which was an absolute travesty. They don't even mention The Last Jedi. They don't want to talk about that, do they? Solo, a Star Wars story, terrible. Ugh. Blah. I barely want to think about this. We made too many movies. We didn't just suck at what we were doing. Yes. Star Wars needed to finish 6 years ago. Yes. Those are AI lizard robots who are doing a great job making movies shitty since the first Matrix. Really? You don't like the first Matrix? I like the first Matrix. I mean, I think that movie was pretty groundbreaking and cool. But yes, they are. I 100% agree that they are AI lizard. I don't think I think they're just lizard people. Because you're saying they're AI lizard robots. I'm going to say they're straight lizard people. But again, cast Pam Anderson as Jar Jar Binks. Yes, thank you. I need these glasses to not be blind. The beautiful lights that illuminate me also blind me and make it impossible for me to see. So I need them. Hit the like freeloaders. Yeah, you're all freeloaders out there. You should be all liking and doing all sorts of things that make me feel happy. Give me some smiley faces and some hearts. I like those too. Because we're going to hit something that's going to make you smile. I promise. I hand-picked this story just for you. Because one of my hobbies is wallowing in the failure of Will Smith, who used to be a good actor, but also has failure children. How's about them apples? How do you feel about Jaden Smith? Jaden Smith. He didn't get paid to say that. I don't even get paid to say that. So how does he get paid to say that? If you pay me, it goes straight into the whiskey bottle is where it goes. That's not getting paid. That's life. That's called life juice. That's how we live on life days. So Jaden Smith, the kid who was really bad. I don't know if he was bad in The Karate Kid, but he was definitely bad in After Earth. He signed a deal with Christian Louboutin. Now, the only thing I can tell you about Louboutin is they're expensive shoes for chicks. They have red soles, and they're, as far as I know, hookers wear them. Expensive hookers. Expensive. What do you call an expensive hooker? Oh, YouTube. I mean, I'll take a middle finger, too. I'll take it. So, let's see. This kid has a shoe line. He's Christian Louboutin's first men's creative director. You ain't going to get no men to buy any of these shoes. First of all, and these can't be real shoes, right? Would you buy shoes that make you look like a Muppet? Key and Peele do the best Jaden. They have a Jaden. I will have to look that up. They do a Jaden Smith. Do they do this Jaden Smith where he has shoes that make you look like you dyed yourself red as a Wookiee or a Muppet? Maybe Animal wears these shoes. You know what I mean? Doc, would you wear these sneakers? I think you would. It's like the big red boots again. Am I behind in the times? Do I not know about fashion? Is that what's going on here? Those shoes would make me instantly hate a person. Yeah, I agree. I agree. That's why everybody hates Noob Noob, because he already has them. I'll save my money. Noob Noob has hobbit feet, if you never noticed. Maybe he'll show them to you one day. Oh, hold on. There's more pictures. What about, yes, what about these? These are like boots. Why would you like to wear these boots? Do those look exciting to you? I cannot condone wearing boots like that. That is... I would love those shoes. I can't wait to get them at the charity shop. Yes, maybe you will see a pair at the thrift shop. He also dyed himself red to look like a Muppet because, you know, he's going for that Muppet look. And his teeth are red. I'm starting to lose... this is the furries trying to infiltrate. They are playing the long game here. They're just trying to get further and further into the mainstream. I cannot condone this. First of all, can you make your pants fit at all? I can't condone any of this. But that's it. Why would you pay this man anything? You should pay him based off of sales. Oh, look at that. Some Yeti boots. Some bound up Yeti boots. The kid never stood a chance. That is absolutely true. If if your parents were Will Smith and the woman that shall not be named, yeah, you can't. Why are they bound up Yeti boots? What is he doing to these Yetis? These Yetis, it feels uncomfortable. So there we go. He's a thing. He does things, and you know what? We think he's getting paid for this. I'm gonna put money on the fact that maybe he's not actually getting paid, or it costs so much for him to live that he will be poor and homeless just like the rest of us. Do people who buy these live in places with no dirt or rain? Yes, they live in museums. That's all about night in the museum, and they live in those museums. No one is buying this. Again, remember his title. He's the first men's director of Louboutin. First of all, I need to understand, why do so many men design women's shoes? Why? I don't care about women's shoes at all. And I'm not Santana, like collecting and selling women's shoes. I don't know, man. Remember how unsatisfied Ed Bundy was with his job back in the day for Married with Children? Yeah. I'm not poor. You're poor. So, all right, we've had enough of Jaden Smith. I'm tired of looking at him. Let's look at a racist for a little bit. Noob's not here, so we'll get the next best thing as far as racism goes, not as far as talent. Quentin Tarantino, he tricked everybody. Everybody was coming out and saying that he had a new movie out, but he didn't. He's got a new play titled The Popinjay Cavalier. Sets its West End debut for 2027. Are they just going to run around shouting the N-word in England now? Is that what we're doing now? Are we going hard R on this? What are we doing? Because that's what, I don't know, some woke goofball was like, Quentin Tarantino made all these racist movies and nobody cares. No, he's racist because he uses the N-word all the time. Basically, every single one of his movies is to give him a free pass to use the N-word. And he's eccentric because he likes feet. He's a foot guy. I don't know if you knew that. Look into it. Or don't. You probably don't. It's pretty terrifying if you get into Quentin Tarantino's foot thing. No, he's not English. He's American. He used to live in L.A. As far as I know, he was his backstory is kind of a lie too. He says he was working in like a Blockbuster or something, like a movie rental place, but I don't think any of that story is real. I'm pretty sure he was always a writer, and his mom supported him because he's like a nepo baby. Samuel L. Jackson did give him a pass on the N-word, so I don't agree with Roseanne Arquette. I never said he was a racist. I mean, I did, but I didn't mean he was a racist. I meant he was a racist. See the difference there? I mostly was implying that he was a foot fetishist. So it is pretty funny. Django Unchained is that's his like life dream, was to play a slave catcher. I swear to God. Have you ever seen? Yes, my favorite movie is Django Unchained. I am not shocked by that, Bandana Dan. I am not shocked by that at all. The what at the bottom of the screen? I don't know. Look, the P at the bottom of your screen. Wonder if it's good. I don't know. Maybe it is. Oh, are you talking about his P-Wagon? Is that a thing? Is that what we're talking about here? Django Unchained is, I wouldn't exactly call it an awesome movie. It's entertaining. You have to remember the entire, is it the second? Yes. The second act is just a circular loop where he he's in chains and then gets out of chains to go back into chains to get out of chains again. You know what I mean? I don't get photophiles either. Photophiles need to stay on the foot farm. Oh, wait, somebody taking over your screen? I don't know. Anyway, so his thing. Yes, I didn't say it was a bad movie. I just said it's not a great movie. It's not even probably one of his top 5. Play is going to start with an ending. Mid scenes will all be slurs, blood, fire. Ending scene will be opening credits forecasted over Quentin's giant forehead. That is fair, Cthulhu. But what he claims it's going to be, I'm going to read you what he says it's going to be. It's described as a swashbuckling comedy. Okay. I bet you didn't have that. It's going to be a rambunctious comedy of deception and disguise inspired by the grand swashbuckling epic of stage and screen. And it's going to be 1830s Europe. I don't think they're going to talk about today or talk how they talk today. He's going to try to write a legitimate play. And he's writing a play and he's going to make it a movie if it's a hit. If it's not a hit, he's not going to make it into a play. So we'll see. I'm not sure how I feel about it. I'm definitely not flying to London to go see it. That's for sure. We'll hear about it. We'll talk about it. So I don't even think they had the N-word in 1830s England or London or whatever it is. You know what I mean? He gave you a great Western. Well, I hate to tell you that what's it called? Django and Jane isn't really a Western. It's more of like a Southern movie. He did give you a Western in The Hateful Eight, though. That was a Western. Although I'd say almost all of his movies are mixed between samurai movies and Westerns, if you put them together. I kind of stopped watching his movies because I don't... What's the one with Pam Grier? I really don't like that one. I just kind of like his movies. I'm not a big fan of his. I would love if he did the AIDS song from Slinger Western type movie. I would... Oh, wait, did I read that? From Team America. Oh, yes. He should redo a live action Team America. I would be okay with that. I'm a movie snob. It's a gunslinger Western type movie. I mean, it's fair. Again, I'm not hating on the movie. The only part I definitely don't like is the part with Quentin Tarantino where he plays the Aussie slave catcher. I really just don't like that part of the movie. He just put himself in that movie for vanity. That's it. So the desk literature, it says it's a Western. Well, hey, I mean, I didn't know that the antebellum South was the West, but I could be wrong. Yes, exactly. See, you get my point. And I'm not... Otherwise, I like all the performances. I think all the performances are great. I just don't like that particular part. It's kind of rude because that's the part of the plot that turns it into a circle, which is just stupid. So either way, all of his movies have like some major flaw in them. It's okay. We can move on. We can appreciate and hate on Quentin mostly for the feet thing. Here's some good news for theaters, though. Now, I am kind of torn because at this point, I don't know if I care to... Seeing movies is not... It's weird because your TVs... I don't know how to describe this, but going to the theater isn't what it used to be. You kind of have to go to a highfalutin fancy theater to keep out the riffraff and to have people stop yelling at the screen. Mostly me. You don't want to go see a movie with me because I will be sitting there screaming at it half the time. So I ruin theaters for everyone else. So my theater watching experience is mostly getting booed, popcorn thrown at me, and sodas dumped on my head. So the movie going experience isn't the greatest for me, but for you, it could be different. And maybe this will help. Universal is changing its theatrical window for pictures to 45 days in 2027. So that means it's going to be mandatory 7 weekends. right? I think, what did I just see? I just saw something on Disney that popped up that was on Disney Plus that was literally out in the theaters 2 weeks ago that they just put out. It's crazy. You can see movies like we were just talking about The Bride. The Bride bombed this weekend. I guarantee in 2 weeks you can see it on home streaming somewhere. You know what I mean? So I am going to just hard pass. I say all my commentary out loud. That's why I get booed at the theaters myself. But what that means is it'll guarantee movies can stick around for a little bit longer. And you got to remember, the more they make, I know there's this weird battle between streaming and theatrical release, but the reason why movies have such big budgets in general is because they're allowed to be in movie theaters and make lots and lots of money. You know, an investor can put in $50 million, yet make another $200 million. That's not easy to do in the world. People think you could just make money. And how else would they money launder? You know what I mean? So they're going to extend this. Most movies, 5 weekends was kind of the max. Now they're saying it's going to be much, much longer. And I think that's a good thing for theaters, at least, because otherwise you're just not going to have theaters anymore. And then who are you going to throw your popcorn at then? Tell me. Yeah, Five Nights at Freddy's, apparently purely theatrical. I'm trying to come up with an example. I mean, 45 days is really short. It's a month and a half, obviously. We all know that, but it'll be interesting. I guess part of it is they have these big movies. There's going to be a Narnia movie, which sounds terrible. And then Brad Pitt's got a sequel to Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, The Adventures of Cliff Booth. So we'll see. I don't know what this means for everybody, but I think it'll help movie theaters. And if you want movie theaters to stick around, you need to give them more exclusivity. You know what I mean? Let's see here. What were you guys saying? That big head of mine is easy target for snacks. Obviously, enjoy Skittles in the back of my head. I have seen that many times. And Tarantino never did the theater thing. No, he was a home rental guy, wasn't he? He had like a home rental club where they would talk about how to make their movies better. Yeah, and it looks like there's going to be a lot of sequels. A lot of sequels next year. Speaking of sequels, perfect segue. Thank you for that. Family Guy gets a spinoff. It's called Stewie. Stewie. Say there, big fella. Who's going to come on to my show? I'd like one too. Say there, big boy. So, if you want to do another sequel for Herbert, I would be happy to do the voice for you. Please pay me money. Give me a job. Make me not homeless. But are you guys excited for Stewie? Stewie? Oh, Stewie. How much money does Seth MacFarlane have? It's weird. He's one of those guys who's I cannot. It's weird. I have a love-hate relationship with Seth MacFarlane. He disturbs me greatly, but I do appreciate some of his talent. He is milking that thing so hard. Oh my God, Rainbow. It's just like Walking Dead, isn't it? Family Guy should have... It's like The Simpsons. My God. The Simpsons is... I haven't watched The Simpsons I can't even tell you the last time I saw The Simpsons. And they're talking about making a movie for it. Like, are you insane? This is just getting milked to the high. Why would Stewie need his own show? Stu, I need my own show. What is he even going to do? He doesn't try to take over the world anymore. Is it just going to be like a gay baby? Like, what are we doing here? But it's got 2 seasons. 2 seasons already. It's targeted for the 2027, 2028 season. It's going to stream the next day on Hulu and Disney Plus. It's going to be structured different. They're going to be a joint commission from, I don't know, Fox. Does Fox still exist? The episode count has not been released. People are hearing it's slightly less than 15 episodes. McFarlane, how much money does this guy have? He's got to be so rich at this point. It's out of control. Family Guy's been going on for like 30 years. He has an upper-class British accent. Attending Quahog preschool. And Rupert. Oh, my God, Rupert. I forgot about Rupert. 24 years of Family Guy. And it was canceled like 3 times. I don't know. I don't know. It's pretty, it's almost left me speechless as to why. Why is this a thing? Maximum 4 seasons. What is, didn't they have another spinoff, the Cleveland Show? But I think the Cleveland Show was problematic because it was voiced by a white guy, maybe? Is Cleveland voiced by a white guy? Was that what the problem was with the Cleveland Show? Everybody else on the show, I think, you know who else was on the show? Justin Timberlake was on the show. That's probably a big problem. Yeah, Mike Henry was a white guy. That's your biggest problem right there. You can't have a black guy be voiced by a white guy. I'm sure you can have a white guy voiced by a black guy. That's probably cool. I know the Boondocks broke all the rules, people. If you've never seen the Boondocks, you need to go back in time in your Wayback Machine and go watch the Boondocks. It will illuminate you to everything. It's one of the funniest, craziest shows on television. But yes, the Cleveland Show. That's probably why they should have just hired Jamie Foxx to do the voice, or they could have done what they did with the Squidbillies and hired. Oh my God, who played the Squidbilly voice? Squidbilly voice actors, because there's been 2. Tracy Morgan. Just hired Tracy Morgan. He'll do it. He'll do anything for a paycheck. He needs it. Say there, Tracy. Why don't you come on over? Just feel what's inside touch inside my pocket. There's a popsicle in there. Say there, Jasper. So anyway, Blake Rosenbar, Samara Weaving. That was the girl we were talking about earlier. Way to bring it all back home. I knew we would get there. So we can move on from Stewie to more entertainment news. Do we need this? I'm torn. Game of Thrones. Everybody, I saw all the major critics, and I'm going to criticize. I didn't watch all their videos, but I saw Critical Drinker, and I saw Nerdronic, and I saw Robot Head, and they're all like, "Oh, the Night of the Seven Kingdoms is so not woke. It was awesome." It still wasn't that good. Like, it was fine. It's like a C plus, but it wasn't that good, right? I don't understand why, though. Like, all those guys were saying how great a Night of the Set, how chivalry. First of all, the lead character was a whiny baby, cried at the drop of a hat, and he was chivalrous one time, and it almost cost him all of his teeth and maybe his face. I also think that the most interesting part of the show, when they have a battle between 14 knights or whatever, you can only see the one fight between 2 people, and the most important injuries and deaths happen off screen, right? And it's they cut it in between his backstory with some girl that he cared a lot about who got killed, who lasted all of 1 episode. Like, what are we doing here? So do we need another Game of Thrones sequel or prequel? I just don't see why. It just doesn't make any sense to me. Now, I know they did another prequel, which is really funny. I think they spent like $30 million on it. And it starred Naomi Campbell, and they killed it. After they watched it, they were like, no way. Yeah, they cost Breaking Bad a 10.0 on Ozymandias. I saw that. That's a travesty. You know what I mean? You should just kind of lock in the ratings. You can't go back in time and rate something different. I mean, I know that some people watch these things later in life and look at them differently. And I know Siskel and Ebert rated some things that were pretty good, pretty bad early on. Like, I'm pretty sure they hated RoboCop, but RoboCop's obviously a classic. They hated Showgirls. Showgirls obviously a classic. Obviously. But come on. House of the Dragon is not that good. House of the Dragon was interesting and then had one of the dumbest season endings I've ever seen. So now you're telling me that we're supposed to watch yet another prequel and it's going to be The Mad King. So here's this one. I guess this is a stage play, which is kind of dumb. But they're also talking about doing a show on it. I guess I have the wrong article. Either way, this one's better to look at because it's got Danny's in it. They're talking about, I guess the big selling point is Balerion, the dragon, like the big they're going to show the big dragon. Well, isn't that the scary part? Is they can all do prequels because they know where it ends up. Because in modern writing, God forbid you move the story forward, right? Nobody does it. Like, just move the story forward. Do after what happens. They were talking about doing a Jon Snow thing. I'm not that I care, but my name is Han and I'm Solo. My big joke about that is I was pretty sure that when he walked up, the guy was holding a red Solo cup and he's like, "Oh, your name should be a Solo cup, huh?" That's exactly why they named him Solo, is because of a red Solo cup. That is one of the biggest travesties in all of movies ever made, is telling us that Han Solo didn't have a real name and that you named him because he's by himself. I cannot tell you how angry that makes me. Literally the world's biggest travesty. Kathleen Kennedy should be strung up by her heels for that. She should be strung up by her heels for just doing that. So anyway, I don't know, hard pass, dog. Yeah, let's hard pass on a new one of these things. I don't get it. Let's just move it in the future. Let's give them guns and laser pistols and riding dragons. Can we do that? Let's have Game of Thrones in the super extreme future. We'll call it He-Man. That's what I want to see. I'm ready for that. All right. Let's move on to more news that I know absolutely nothing about, which I find amusing. Jumanji. They just finished filming Jumanji 4. Jumanji 4, mind you, right? I can honestly say with a straight face, I've never seen any Jumanjis. So I couldn't tell you what happened in Jumanji 1. I feel like the guy who did a lot of cocaine was in it, who was in Mork and Mindy. That guy might have been in Jumanji 1. I don't know what Jumanji 2 was. Maybe that's a Kevin Hart and Rock one. Who knows? Jumanji 3, that could have been Minecraft for all I cared. As far as I'm concerned, Jumanji 3 and Minecraft are the same movie. And Jumanji 4? Are you super duper for real about this? Are you super duper for real? Why did they not make a sequel? Where's my sequel to Jungle Cruise? Which I also don't want. I did, in fact, watch that. I don't think when Jumanji came out, I was being a movie critic. So Look at this. Look at all these happy faces, all smiling because they finished Jumanji 4. Oh God. What a joy. What an absolute. It's a beautiful. I'm so glad they finished Jumanji 4. When can we expect Jumanji 4? When's it going to hit theaters? I don't know. Okay, what I want to know, how come this is, okay, I'm going to give you an example why people in Hollywood are absolute scumbags. I'm just going to give you an example here, and bear with me, it's a little gross. The Rock has this terrible habit that he got called out on where he didn't have time to go to the bathroom. What he does is takes his bottles of whatever, I guess water or whatever, and he relieves himself into his bottles. Now, there are 3 A-listers behind him that he has probably relieved himself in front of several times, right? Oh, do I have to do which 3? Do I do the German 3 or the British 3? Either way. He's got Jack Black, some other famous people, the redhead girl who plays Gamora, whoever she is, and who's the other famous person? Kevin Hart. I should know that one. That one I should know. The girl, she's not quite an A-lister. She's pretty close. Karen Gillan. There we go. The Rock has 100% relieved himself in front of these people, yet not one of them came out and threw him under the bus to be like, hey, disgusting pig, we don't need to see you tinkling in any bottles. That's just not acceptable. Stop doing it. We don't need it. We don't want it. We didn't ask for it. Right? December 2026, that's when the movie's coming out. That's kind of exciting. Where is my volume? So, my Christmas gift to you is if you watch Jumanji, I want you to think about The Rock and what he's doing in every scene and whether or not he actually has to use the restroom or not. How does that sound? And that's my Christmas gift to you, is that if you watch Jumanji 4, you tell me. I want to see in the comments in the future that you were thinking about The Rock using it as his restroom. I don't want to think about another man's junk. I don't want you to think about another man's junk. I want you to think about his excretions. That's what I want you to think about. Oh, sweet bejeez. Anyway, let's move on to the easiest decision I think I've ever heard in Hollywood in my entire life. How they did. It was Netflix's number one thing for 10 years straight. Not 10 years, but for as long as it's been out, for the entire year. I would imagine Kpop Demon Hunters has more watch time than every single movie they've put together. And that would be as long as because they measure everything by watch time. That would be like the number one thing. Because kids seem to watch this all the time. What? Who's kicking you at 1 hour? They're like, you've heard enough of this banter. You've heard enough of this nonsense. All sorts of weird things are going on. I cannot hear the music anymore. It is disturbing me. But Kpop Demon Hunters, mega super viral hit, is getting a sequel. Let me just check this plug. As you hear me jam plugs into things, yes. No, I cannot hear the music. Well, Red Notice. What was that one? Did that beat Kpop Demon? I can't believe it beat Kpop Demon Hunters. Kpop Demon Hunters is getting its sequel Girl group who uses secret identities to protect their fans from supernatural forces. The weird part of K-pop Demon Hunters is, what's weird is there's like 6 girls who play the roles. There's 3 main girls, and everybody else is like side pieces to it, if you know what I mean. Like they're all very like some are singers and some are voice actors, all that good jazz. So the movie is Netflix's most popular of all time with more than 325 million views in its first 91 days. It's also up for 2 Oscars. Let's see. They're gonna perform it in the Oscars. I didn't even know the Oscars were gonna happen. That's a thing. A lot of Korean pride in this one. And it was fine. It seemed like it was aged for a much younger audience than I think anybody realized that it was a much younger audience. It's almost like it was for like 3 to 8-year-olds, and anybody above that is kind of, at least on the American side. So, Red Notice, is that Santa Claus movie with The Rock? Is that the one that you're talking about? Because I can't remember. That movie was okay. It did not have enough J.K. Simmons in it. That's what I can say about that with certainty. So it's getting a sequel. Literally the most obvious and easiest thing they could have possibly ever done was put that in there. So we're getting a sequel. It's time to get outraged. Because I can't go in or out. So it's good. We're going to get outraged. All right. It's time to get outrageous with the Chinese. China is so, because China smuggling ants in their pants. Can you believe that? I would never have agreed to allow the Chinese to smuggle ants. A Chinese national has been arrested in Kenya's airport, accused of attempting to smuggle more than 2,000 queen garden ants out of the country. Zhang Quen was intercepted during a security check at these names are amazing. Jomo Kenyatta Interport, JKIA, at the capital. This is at the capital of Nairobi. Did you know that the capital of Kenya was Nairobi? Well, they discovered a large consignment of live ants in his luggage bound for China. What was he going to do with 200 queen ants? I mean, obviously, he was going to start a colony of ants. But what did he expect those ants to do? Were they going to build something? Yeah, why would you even bring in ants to China? I mean, I'm sure China has its own ants. Is China's... Okay, the funny thing about China, and I know this from experience, is they steal everything. Communism kind of destroys original thought and original ideas. So they have to reverse engineer everything. How you reverse engineer an ant, I have no idea. But I think it's just funny that they need to steal ants. They're pets, basically. Last year, the Kenya Wildlife Service warned of a growing demand for garden ants, scientifically known as Mesor cephalotes in Europe and Asia, where collectors keep them as pets. He had them packed in test tubes, and other were concealed in toilet and tissue paper rolls, hidden in his luggage. Within his luggage was found 1,948 garden ants, packed in specialized test tubes. A further 300 live ants were recovered, concealed under 3 rolls of tissue paper with the luggage. That is Teddy bonkers. Yeah, well, last May, a Kenyan court sentenced 4 men to 1 year in prison with a fine of $7,700 for trying to smuggle thousands of live queen ants out of their country. Apparently, this is the thing. You go there and you steal queen ants. Where you would get them, I don't know. Last year's ants, though, they were African harvester ants. These were garden ants. So you better know which ants you're getting. Because if you don't know, then you don't know. Dead ant. Dead ant. Dead ant. Oh my God, this is going to drive me insane. I might as well not even wear headphones if I cannot hear what is going on. The whole point is so that I can make sure you guys don't hear terrible ads. So, my bad. My bad, friends. All right. We're done getting outraged at the ants. I mean, I like ants, but not enough to collect them. It seems like a bad idea. What if the ants escape, and what if they get in your pants, and then you're the man with ants in his pants? That's a lose-lose proposition, as far as I'm concerned. It is a terrible ad for Nasty Mandy. Did you know you got doxxed in the last show? Did you, or in your live stream? And that Noob filmed your balls? Would anybody like to see a picture of Nasty Mandy? Tell me in the chat below if you would like to see a picture of Nasty Mandy. Because I like to show it. It makes me feel better about myself. It should make everybody feel better. In fact, I want you to... Nasty Mandy. There we go. Just to make everybody feel better for the day. That's Nasty Mandy. Here's 2 cents a month. Yeah, everybody wants to see Nasty Mandy. That's the way. I need a bigger picture. Hold up. I'll find it. Oh, yeah. Most people would have to be familiar with Aphex Twin to understand. Bikini girl. Oh, here's like Nasty Mandy and his whole crew. Oh, you're not going to see that, are you? Oh, is this Facebook? Oh, here we go. There you go. There you go. Nice big old picture of Nasty Mandy. Always to spice things up. And you never gave us your review of Resident Evil, Nasty Mandy. Tell us. Did it live up to your horrific standards? Your one-man army. Why am I going to get banned showing Nasty Mandy? I'm like, oh, his ball. I didn't show his balls. That's Noob's problem, not my problem. But did you enjoy Resident Evil? We were supposed to review that this week, and then I realized that Noob was in Haiti getting good with the Haitians. All right, I'm tired of fiddling with this thing. So, I guess that means we can move. We don't have anything to get in or out on, so we're going to move to the reviews. What exactly are we reviewing? Their playthrough was Requiem is better than Village, better than Resident Evil 7, a perfect combination of action and horror. They are so terrible at street. Yes, I agree. They're also the worst gamers ever. The two of them talking to each other. It's like, no, go do this. Oh, I'm scared. It's all like Noob, like, oh my God, that's so frightening. It's a very bizarre combo. But either way, maybe you can see my Arc Raider dominance. I am way better than the Burnt Peanut. But, you know. I was drinking. You couldn't find, what was it? The screwdriver to save your life. You know what I mean? Know what I'm saying? All right, let's go back. Let's get a little more chill. That's right. We're going to do some reviews. We only have a couple this week. Only have a couple. And you bought an 8-ball off of Noob's neighbor. I am not shocked by that because his neighbors are something else. Let's do Night Agent, because this is the one I'm sad about. Night Agent kind of came out of nowhere. I read the book. And I don't think they had... They did season 2, and they had the second book hadn't even been finished. And they don't have a lot of material to go off of. And the second season seemed a little lost. The first season is really, really good. It's kind of like James Bond if James Bond was a Boy Scout instead of being a British sex machine, right? Yes, he is at Orcu Island getting ready for Easter. I don't he's hiding the eggs in the children. Yes, he is. He is doing all of those things. The conspiracy about Orcu Island never fades. Never, ever fades. So let's see if I can get season 3's reviews up. Yes. Okay. So we'll go through it real quick. Season 1, which I thought was really good, but the critics did not like it, is at 75% for the critics, 78% with the audience. I think it was better than that. I gave it a solid B+, more like an 87, 88. I thought it was very solid. The novel's pretty good. It's pretty close to the novel. And the main actor, whatever his name, Gabriel Basso, is good. He's earnest, very Boy Scout, right? Then season 2 got a little lost in the sauce. The dorky critics liked it. They thought 86%, but the fans, 40%, did not like where it was going. I thought it was a little lost. But now, season 3 could be the most mature season yet. 86% on the critic side, 81% on the fan side. I thought this season was really tight. Let's see here. Based on the novel by Matthew Quirk, The Night Agent is a sophisticated character-based action thriller centering on a low-level FBI agent who works in the basement of the White House, manning a phone that never rings until the night that it does, propelling him into the fast-moving, dangerous conspiracy that ultimately leads him all the way to the Oval Office. And they do connect to season 2, but I thought this one was very good. There was a lot of really strong co-stars, and I really enjoyed it. I thought this was a step in the right direction, but I have heard that not a lot of people are not like watching it. It's not as popular. Why are fans and critics always on the opposite side of the spectrum? Because the critics they're called the access media. They have to get access to get special treats, and they get free movies. I don't get to go to see free movies. People hate me. I get death threats from mafia bosses. But they want access, so they have to give things that are woke and things that they have to give it good ratings. And then recently, because like Star Wars used to invite you to exclusive events so you could come and give them positive reviews. Season 4 is greenlit. Thank you, Doc. You're the man. Thank you for brightening my day. I was very nervous that it would not get greenlit because the watch is not that great. Now, I don't want the show to go on forever, but I do like where it's going, and I do like the growth from the character. And there's like a killer. There's like not a serial killer, but a professional hitman in this one that was really good. Mafia bosses gabagool your daughter. Well, the only problem with Netflix is they will greenlight things and then not greenlight things. You know what I mean? So I liked it. It's definitely better than Wonder Man, that's for sure. So I was glad to see it back. Who's Black Iron Man? Are you talking about Cheadle? Don Cheadle? All right, is that who you're talking about? He hasn't starred in anything, and he's not Iron Man. He's War Machine. Oh, no, we're reviewing War Machine. No. So anyway, I recommend this season. It's much better than season 2. If you're trying to step into it, it's not a bad season. You're not going to be totally caught up. But it's good. It's good. War Machine, on the other hand, though, oorah. This is a war movie. While I don't love it, it's like an A-, B+. This is as good as a Netflix movie as you're gonna get. Let's put it this way. And it stars, funny you say, a Black Iron Man. No, this is White Hulk. This is Alan Ritchson. which is they do some really smart things in this. One of the smartest things they do is they tell you that he's too old to be a ranger. He barely, basically what it is, oh, peace out, Rainbow. Thank you. You're the man. Be safe. Do your thing. We'll catch you on the next one. But War Machine here, Alan Ritchson, he's like a foot taller than every other candidate. Basically, he enrolls in Ranger School because that's what something bad happens. Someone needs to enroll in Ranger School. And as they're trying to complete training for Ranger School, something goes horribly, horribly wrong. And they run into a thing that they've never encountered before. And it's pretty obvious when you watch the trailer, but I'm not going to spoil anything. But this is definitely, like, this is a high tier Netflix movie, which could turn into something more. There could be a franchise out of this. It's been doing very well on the Netflix charts. And Alan Ritchson is proving that he can carry a movie. This is my pitch for him to be Batman. The only problem with Alan Ritchson as Batman is he's 2 foot taller than every normal person in any movie and incredibly handsome and ripped. There's no way on earth anyone would believe that he is, Bruce Wayne. He would, no one would believe he's Bruce Wayne. They'd be like, dude, you're clearly Batman. You're huge. You're the Hulk. You could beat me to death. You could rip my arms off and beat me with them. There's no way you're not Batman. He would make an amazing Batman. Amazing Batman. But I don't know about his Bruce Wayne. He might have to lose 40 pounds of not muscle. The man is a monster. He is the White Hulk. And it's just ridiculous. It would be, this is an audition for him. He's charismatic. I like him a lot. He's a great actor. I love him in Reacher. I loved him as Hawkman in, what was that? He was in Teen Titans. And I actually liked him in Teen Titans. So this guy, he's great. I'm a big fan. That's why I watched it. I'm a big fan of his, and but they did a good job, like I said, of setting the table. They're like, he's a couple months from being too old to be a ranger. He's in RASP, the Ranger Army Special Unit, whatever. And he's not doing it because he wants to be a ranger. He's doing it because out of some obligation, and they all know it. And nobody likes him, and they pick him to be a team leader because he's a maniac. And he's obviously physically more powerful than everybody in this. Yeah, providing Alan Ritchson... I never even read this critic consensus before. Providing Alan Ritchson an ideal vehicle to flex his brawny charisma. Exactly what I said. War Machine occasionally clanks, true, when it comes to character death, but otherwise soldiers on to deliver an awesome dose of action spectacle. Exactly. It's well-deserved R rating. This is like, all the weird, crazy stuff you see in Saving Private Ryan where you're like, wow, that's more violent than I thought it would be. This is that violent. This has all the hallmarks of this is very violent. But the violence is earned and approved. And they do write it. It's written in a sensible way. It is pretty sad how it all turns out, but at the end, this reminds me of an underrated movie called Battle Los Angeles. I think that's what it's called. Let me double check. I'm pretty sure that's what it's called. Battle Los Angeles. And that might be a little bit of a spoiler. 2011 film, Battle Los Angeles. This could be a sequel to that. It starred Aaron Eckhart, Michelle Rodriguez, Ramon Rodriguez, Michael Pena. I like that movie. I thought that was pretty good. That came out 15 years ago. This could be a sequel to that or a prequel to that. And they're not connected in any particular way, but that's an underrated war movie with a cool science fiction twist. And I like that too. So I highly recommend this. I think you should go see that. And that wraps up the reviews. What am I doing next week? I have Star Trek Starfleet Academy. I may do my own review of it. I hate that show so much. I hate it. But I might review it just for you guys, just to wrap it up. Put a bow on it. And I'm watching One Piece, by the way. So with any luck, I don't know that I'll be finished One Piece, but I will attempt it. I feel like Noob, who may or may not be on the show, who knows at this point, he'll do whatever he wants. What's not woke? One Piece or Starfleet Academy? Starfleet Academy is 100% woke. It's feelings in space is what I would call it. They shouldn't call it Starfleet. They should call it Star Feelings in Space. Is Resident Evil woke? Maybe we'll get a Resident Evil review. Maybe. Anyway, enjoyed it. Love all y'all. Thank you. Everybody was in the chat. I'm going to run through. I see Nasty Mandy, Rainbow Man. I saw Doc out there hold it down as one of our super duper admins. I see Cthulhu was out there who got kicked after an hour. I say Fiona Barola and Ron Cold lit one up. Bandana Dan, everybody out there. How do you want me to review this game? I don't know. Maybe you should call your gay boyfriend and find out what he wants to do, because he doesn't like to work. Now, I mean, I could have you on with your icon and not show your face, and I could ask you questions directly. We'll talk about it. Let's kick it around. I got to get out of here because I got other stuff to do, because I got to move on, because I am on to the next one.
Thanks for catching the video. Be sure to join our channel to get the education you deserve. Make sure you check out our shorts, live streams, and catch us on all the socials. Don't forget to like and subscribe.